Today's section we will discuss about the how to install Docker in a Linux machine. Why Linux machine? Linux is the best operating system for Docker installation because Docker runs natively on a Linux kernel. For Linux, we have different flavors like Ubuntu, Debian, Linux Mint, Linux, Red Hat, Fedora, Alpine, CentOS, etc. Why these many flavors? For example, think about cars. We have different manufacturers for cars. Some manufacturers will concentrate on luxury. Some manufacturers will concentrate on the heavy duty. Some manufacturers will concentrate on the price. Similarly, each and every flavor has its own purpose. Today, we are going to install our Docker in Ubuntu server. It is the most popular server. It is easy to install Docker on an Ubuntu server. It has a huge community support. Many Docker images are based on Ubuntu or Debian servers. LTS versions are stable and server. LTS means long-term support. Before installation, we have to create an Azure Virtual Machine for Ubuntu server. For that, I am creating a virtual machine on the Azure portal. So I have to provide here the Azure resource group. I will give it as Docker resource group. Then I have to provide virtual machine name. I will give it as Docker virtual machine. Docker VM. VM means virtual machine. Then I will keep region itself as East US. Then availability zone, I will make it to no infrastructure redundancy requirement. Then security type, I will change it to standard. Here, see, the image is Ubuntu. The version number 24.04 LTS. LTS means long term support. Then we have to fill all these things. Docker key value pair. Next, I click on disks. Here, everything looks good. Next, networking. Here, subnet. Here, virtual network, subnet, public IP. In production, we will won't provide this kind of public IP. Instead of we have to give none. But for our testing purpose, now we are creating with public IP address. Next, management. Everything is looking. In AWS or Azure, creating virtual machines is very easy. It is like filling form. Yeah, validation is passed. Now I am going to create an Ubuntu virtual machine in Azure portal. Creating. Now we have to download this private key. Otherwise, we can't connect with our local machine to this Azure virtual machine. That means from our local machine, we without this private key, we are unable to connect to this virtual Ubuntu machine. I have to download this one. Now our virtual machine was created successfully. Now we have to connect to that particular virtual machine. For that, we have to click on the connect, then connect. Then we have to copy this SSH command and paste it on a notepad somewhere. and we have to provide the downloaded private key path. So this is our downloaded, not this one. We have to refresh this one. This is our downloaded private key, and we have to copy that path and we have to paste it here. Control V. Next, copy, open command prompt, cmd, command prompt, paste it here, enter. Type S. Yeah, see, our Docker virtual machine was created. We are connected to our Ubuntu server. This is Azure user for that particular Ubuntu server. We given name as Docker VM. So this is a raw machine. Docker we have to install. Docker is not pre-installed. We have to install Docker in our Ubuntu machine. Okay, if you type docker -v, that means Docker version, it will give error. -v, see, command not found. For that, we have to install Docker in this Ubuntu machine. First, update our system packages list using command sudo apt update. Sudo apt update. This will update Ubuntu download to the latest list of software versions from repositories. This ensures Docker installation to the newest version. Next, we have to install required packages. For that, we have to copy this command sudo apt install. This command we have to copy and we have to paste it here, run it. This is for Docker needs some packages to allow secure download. For that, we are installing this command. Now we have to add Docker GPG key. For that, we are using this command curl. It will download the Docker GPG key. This command will download the Docker GPG key. This adds Docker official security key. So Ubuntu trusts this Docker package. Okay. Next, we have to add Docker repository. This is the Docker repository. This add Docker official repository to Ubuntu so we can install Docker from it. Press enter. Now we have to again update our system packages using command sudo apt update. This is the command first we have executed because Ubuntu now refreshes packages list including Docker repositories. Now we have to install Docker by using command sudo apt install docker -ce space -y. See, this will install latest Docker Community Edition. Yes. Now, if you type docker -v, that means version. Yeah, see, now we are able to see the Docker version. It is 28.1.1 and build. Okay, thank you everyone.